Guacamole, everybody.
Avocado, everybody.
My name's Dylan.
I'm Jax.
Let's review the world.
Let's do this.
Today, for our fourth episode, we're going to talk about aliens. And when I say aliens, we're not talking about people down south of us or north of us or anywhere here but us. We are talking about extraterrestrials, my people.
I think an extraterrestrial could still be considered an illegal alien. They don't have the right to be here.
Yeah, as soon as they land, Trump grabs them and throws them in alligator Alcatraz.
They're like,
God.
Sorry, man, you got to get in through the normal means. You got to pay money and sign these papers and sit and waiting for 3 months.
But in all seriousness,
Aliens
folks,
would have a better chance.
Oh,
blowing
yeah.
up on France or Italy or Ukraine over America right now.
But in all seriousness, are they real? I mean, if they are,
Where are you?
where are they? Are they already here and we're just not seeing them because they got like super advanced technology cloaking themselves, or they just look like us but they're from another planet? These are the questions we ask ourselves.
Yeah, like if they're real and they're here and they look exactly like us, then yeah, how would we know? But if they were like 8 foot tall lizard people, then they would need to have some sort of disguise that's not a mustache, a monocle, and a top hat. Or a Hillary Clinton mask.
A Hillary Clinton mask.
There'd have to be some sort of like, cloaking technology or an ability to transform. It just adds more scientific extravagance to the question.
To me, it's always fun to think about, like, yeah, there's aliens walking around among us, but in my thought process, I don't think so. I would think they would want to stay removed from the regular population. And this ain't like Men in Black when they're trying to integrate into our culture. If an alien comes all this way here to Earth...
You telling me an alien wouldn't want to set up a shop in New York City selling TVs and watches and potentially getting their head blown off over and over again?
I don't think so. And if they have that level of technology...
Not unless space travel was as prevalent as like the Star Wars universe, where everything's just open season. You could just take your own personal ship and find wherever, and now I'm just gonna live here. If it's that prevalent, if the universe is opened to that degree and we just don't know about it, but everything else is Star Wars level of we could just pick a planet and go there and we don't got to worry about too many things, then the idea of coming here to just chill and set up shop and exist makes sense then. But if it's just a few spacefaring races out there, then yeah, why would you come all the way out here? Like, why would we go all the way to the edge of the solar system and not take all their stuff?
Yeah, that's where my thought process lies.
I don't think we would be too peaceful. We'd probably go over there, we'd see something we like. If we can't negotiate it out of them, then we're gonna probably take it, or at least feel like we can take it.
We'll come up with some excuse to take it. That's what just humans do.
So with that logic in mind, that could potentially be what could happen, or be what's happening to us. The AI has come from the alien. It's already taken over.
Yeah, that's a thought too. But man, yeah, I just don't see aliens coming all this way here just to live a normal life. I would think they're coming all this way to either observe us and maybe see what kind of resources we got and if it's even worth the trouble of sending the rest.
That are like ancient builders. Like, you got all of those stories from Mesopotamia, the Sumerian gods,
The Anunnaki.
yeah, the pyramids of Egypt being built by aliens, the Nazca lines. There's
Every culture's got some kind of, or
in those,
some equivalent.
in those stories, or those
Should I say most cultures?
yeah, they came as builders, they came as explorers. They didn't do too many crazy things from what I understand at that point, but no one really knows if one, if that happened, two, if they're aliens, three, are they gods, or four, is it just stories that were misconstrued over the last, I don't know, 2,000, 3,000 years? Stories tend to get wild after that point.
Yeah, just like what's that game in school we used to play, or in like kindergarten? Telephone, where you say a phrase
And like a rumor to someone, and then
it gets all the way down the line and it's something completely different.
yeah, or we did something similar where you'd put a sheet of paper on everybody's back, and then everybody turned around, and the last person would draw like a house, and then without looking at it, the person who was drawn on would try and draw what they felt, and you would see how the picture changes dramatically. By the end, people are just drawing whatever they want because it doesn't feel like they did anything.
Yeah, that seems like a lot harder to do than actually saying a very specific thing, and it's usually a very short phrase like, hey, did you hear Jimmy had a kid? And by the end it's like, hey, did you hear Jimmy died of a pig?
Yeah.
or something like that.
There'd always be one kid midway down the line is like, oh, I'm going to have fun with this.
Is it intentional, or is it really just how the rumors change?
Yep.
It could be like that with aliens. I mean, it's nice to think about because there is a lot of stories, especially a little bit I know about the Native Americans. And it's not much, but they never referred, like some cultures referred to them as gods, and some other cultures view them as just like teachers. They came, they passed some wisdom, and supposedly they had physical forms. I don't know if none of that's true. I'm not no expert. This is just stuff of a normal guy comes across. But yeah, they were just called sky people, and I heard you better not ever call them aliens on a reservation. They will get very mad about that, and I'm not going to be the one to test it.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't go down there or go to any reservation and start asking stupid questions without having like a book with me or a translator or something. But you know, you go back to like, what was it, Roswell? You got our stereotypical UFO encounters.
Yeah, the flying saucer.
But, you know, even in today's age when everybody's got a high quality camera in their pocket, I feel like there'd be more photos. And yeah, okay, I will say there are a lot of quote-unquote photos of so-called aliens, but it's all like hearsay until someone like is shown up on camera next to
E.T. doing the peace sign.
Yeah. like an alien shows up and he's standing next to one of our famous news anchors.
I think it would have to be a politician. If an alien comes, it would have to be somebody super important for people to believe it.
No one would believe it if it was Trump, though.
Nah, he's faking it.
It would be all AI. Everybody, no one would believe it. No, he'd have to. Yeah, there'd have to be a huge show of like 100 U.S. saucers or whatever ships they got showing up at some government building in front of a lot of people.
Yep, and the
even
alien hasn't said much. He's like, I'm on a way to present. I am just a diplomat. I am a messenger, and he gets in front of all these people, and he's like, I am here to prepare you for your masters.
Oh, see,
the Q.
See, no one would want that. Everybody be trying to fight back.
Yeah, and have you seen what the Q did to people? It's a fictional alternate, or was it a projected theoretical
it's like
future?
Theoretical evolution of humanity throughout like millions of years.
Yeah, and the Q were people apparently that came here a long time ago too, and they did some stuff to people that fought back, and it was not nice. Y'all should go check that out.
Remember the movie Mars Attacks? The Martians show up, and then there's like a big government thing, and they got tanks there at the start of the movie, and the alien walks on stage, kills a bird, starts tweaking out, and starts zapping people. Well, before all the zippy zappy starts happening, they're on stage with all these cameras. My point. Even if something like that happened today, I think a lot of people would still be like, oh, it's fake.
It's AI.
It's AI.
Yeah,
it's
we're looping
CGI,
back into the AI.
It's like the moon landing. It never happened. And it wouldn't be until those green-headed jerks are literally swarming through the cities for people to be like, oh, you know what? I don't think it's AI anymore.
Well, people also.
But it might be the Russians.
It might be the Russians.
There would be so much mass non-belief in what's going on that I think it would be a hindrance to our survival, to be honest.
That would be an issue. Because, yeah, we don't really live in a very trusting society nowadays.
Yeah.
And AI is just about to put the final nail in the coffin of that, where we don't trust anything. But that's the best state for humans to be, for somebody who wants to conquer, is to confuse them, make them all confused about everything.
Yeah, that's why the AI came from the aliens.
Yep.
Alien intelligence.
And if it does happen, you heard it here first, folks.
Yep, and if we're completely wrong, well then, thank fucking God.
Yes, I want to be wrong about that. I do not mind being wrong.
No, there's so many. I mean, you could look at aliens and religion in almost the same light. And I'm not saying like from a belief aspect, but there's so much proof and disproof and misinformation about both subjects that it almost just, at the end of the day, it's like it's a yes or no question. Do you believe or not? Or do you have faith or not? I haven't seen an almighty hand ever come down and give me anything, but I've had a few good situations where I would thank God or whatever for the outcome. I've also seen some situations where it's like, that could be alien, but it could have been a drone, or it could have been whatever. I got a few good stories, but
I only got one.
There's a lot of it's.
I want to hear your alien story real quick.
I don't know if mine could be mentioned on here.
Oh.
Essentially, I was going to a friend's house. Had to go pick up a few things.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was just sitting out in my car. Didn't get out yet. And I was sitting there just looking down the street. And it was probably like midnight. And I'm looking at the buildings at the edge of the street. It's like a T-shaped road. And I'm staring at this house, and it just like dawns on me. Like, I've been staring at this house for like 10 seconds. But what I'm actually staring at is that giant orange orb above the house. And the second I had that realization, it just shot straight down behind the house. And I couldn't tell you if it was orange, green, or blue, to be honest. But in the moment, I knew what color it was. But the second I couldn't see it anymore, I was like, was it orange or was it blue, or was it green, or something like that. And it was a weird experience. And so when I got home, I had some friends at my house, I had my wife there, and nobody believed me. I was just like, oh, well, whatever, let's continue playing. I think we were playing Munchkin at the time or something.
Munchkin.
Yeah, it's like a Dungeons and Dragons game.
That's funny. Yeah, the only story I got, was hanging out with some friends when I was younger. I lived in a small town. And
everybody was like, it could have been a drone. My perspective, it was like...
Oh, this was before drones.
A ball, well, for me, for mine. From my perspective, the orb thing was like a ball, a perfect sphere, larger than a truck. So it wasn't like just a light. It was like a helicopter there. It just went shunk down like
right
immediately. The second I was like, wait, what am I looking at? And then it just went boop. So yeah, it was weird, but I'm not running through the streets screaming aliens. I'm just walking through the streets confused.
Like, what in the world did I just see?
Yeah, was that a drone? Was that someone standing out in their yard with one of those stupid ass high powered spotlight lasers? Those are horrible. I was driving home from work one day, and this was back when I lived in the country of Wisconsin. And the car in front of me was like, I don't know, maybe like 10 car lengths ahead. We weren't really close, but I could see him. We were driving through the country road, and I just see this green light coming from like a kid standing in the middle of a field, and it just went up. It was just this green beam, and he shined it right at the car in front of me, and the inside of the car just went green, just illuminated the whole car. I could see the whole inside of the car. And all I could think about in the moment is like, you shine that at my window, I'm gonna pull over, I'm gonna chase you down.
I'm gonna get you, boy.
That was crazy, because yeah, it was so bright that it hurt my eyes looking at the car, that I couldn't imagine what the person in front of me went through. That thing was crazy. So it wasn't something like that, maybe. Probably.
It could be.
What's your alien story?
Just hanging out, friends, small town, and we were not doing anything wrong, right? We were being good boys, but we did go walk down the street, and I think we were bouncing a basketball, kicking it around, and it was nighttime, but there was like a couple like street lamps that illuminated this grass area, and it was about the size of a soccer field.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just playing, even trying to do like tag and stuff, or and the ball was like, the person who was it had to hold on to the ball. And we all were just taking a break, laying down in the grass, and everybody's like, oh, check that out. And it was just moving in a straight line across. I've seen this thing happen before, and I look, oh, it's got to be the International Space Station, because it's just moving super fast, real high up. There's no blinking lights. It could have been a plane super high up. But this is what makes me not believe that. It did an immediate 90 degree. And I mean, it wasn't like slowly, it was just one direction. And I'm like, did y'all see that? And they're like, yeah. Then it started doing all these little squiggly things and just shot off.
Just trying to write its name in the sky.
We did not know what we were looking at. We definitely thought it was a UFO. We did not tell nobody because, I mean, kids playing, saying they seen a UFO, who's going to believe that?
Yeah. That's probably like most stories.
We just kept it to ourselves.
Yeah, it's so extraordinary, but at the same time not super extraordinary. Be like, and then it flew down, and they got out of their ship and shook my hand and gave me
A lollipop.
something. Yes, that's a story worth telling. But to sit there and say, yeah, I saw something that could have been something, that is like, why even mention it? And yeah, I would need a physical experience anything shooting through the sky, I might just say is military nowadays. Or one of those super cool jets or whatever.
Yeah, you never know what they got nowadays.
Yeah. If it looks like something I saw literally on a movie, I would assume it's military because it's from our movies or something.
That's why it's in our movies. They're trying to prep us for that technology. They're like, we were way ahead of y'all, but we're just going to show some stuff in movies to get y'all prepared because we really got something that can crack a planet.
Maybe.
That would be terrifying. Although if there was aliens around, I kind of wouldn't mind having something like that in our military.
Thought we would just use it on everybody else, though, so why not?
Yeah, well, another planet is trying to take us out, yeah.
We would.
It'd be all Ender's Game by that point.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories out there, a lot of sightings. My belief in the fact is, you know, our universe is so vastly big that they're just to sit here and say we're literally the only things in our galaxy, in our universe, in our solar system, and in our reality, whatever you want to say. If we're the only creatures that can stand up and look at the sky and touch our moon, then that's kind of ideal. That means the rest of the universe is up for grabs for us. It was basically made for us at that point. But if everything else is Star Wars and we're just one of those planets that are way off from the sector and no one really knows about us, we are so far behind that
if aliens get to us before we get to them, that's where things get bad. I do wish they would spend more funding into like really trying to get out into space. There's so many resources out there.
A lot of scientists that are completely against that. It was the Black Forest theory, where we're essentially in a dark forest.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
And
the more we
poke and prod and shout and turn on lights, the more attention we're gonna gain, and there could be some boogums out there in that dark forest.
Some Tyranids.
Some Necrons.
Don't want nothing to do with none of that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
If there's Necrons, there's the Flayed Worms, and giant mechanical menace with giant Freddy Krueger-like fingers coming at you just to skin you alive.
Or we're the only survivors from a previous war in space. It was Star Wars level, Warhammer, Star Trek, whatever you want to say. We all blew ourselves to bits, and Earth is the only outpost left standing. That's why all the planets in our solar system are just desolate rocks.
Well, the more we look at other planets too, even though we can't physically view them like as well we can view our own planets in our solar system, the method they're using to see at least what the atmosphere is the composition of is, I would say, roughly pretty close.
Yeah, you can see
how much
basically the genetic makeup of the planet.
Yeah, almost like from DNA.
Yeah. So from that, I can see that working, but when you look up at the stars, there's just dots everywhere, and all the millions of planets around them, it's like knowing where to look. It's like saying go out in your backyard and find a couple ants on a piece of grass. Sure, you can do it. Depending on where you live, you might have a bunch of ant hills out there in your backyard, but you might just be looking at individual blades of grass all freaking day before you find an ant, let alone a couple ants. It's a big universe.
Oh, it's an absolute, and that's only for what we can see. The universe is probably far bigger than what our observable universe is.
Yeah, things might be 5 looks away.
And something else you got to think about too, whenever we look out into the stars, when we're looking at something, it's, let's just say, what's the closest one? Alpha Centauri, that's like 4 light years away.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're looking at that planet 4 years in the past. We're not looking at it in present time. The same goes for all the other planets too.
Yeah, so like we're looking out at a planet that we theorize can have life on it based on its makeup, based on our scans, but it's 5 million light years away. that planet might already be spacefaring. It might already have people.
They might be on their
They
way.
might have already been here and gone. So we're just looking at it from the past, basically, which is a weird way to think about it, you know.
And our calling card, which is the first signal we ever pretty much sent out, was like the first radio waves we ever started producing. And whenever, what was that? When did radios get, or radio wave?
Are you trying to ask me when radio waves were invented?
Yes, I am asking you that.
I feel like the radio waves are the byproduct of using a radio. But yeah, radios were like 1880s, early 1900s when they started getting like really popular, especially during around the war and stuff.
That's what I thought.
But it's honestly, the radio waves, they haven't gone as far as you would think. Like, do you have a guess?
I mean, from that time, what, they travel like at the speed of light, don't they?
Oh, it's a whole nother question. I don't know now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, radio waves travel at the speed of light, so they would let's just say it was late 1800s. So from like that time to now, that's
Yeah.
oh, so
No, yeah, in a vacuum, radio waves travel the speed of light. So yeah,
Okay.
you're right.
But now I'm just trying to do the math. Like, how much time has that been? Because it's like that many years, light years out from Earth. For folks who don't know, I just woke up, so it's hard for me to do math. My apologies.
I feel like the math doesn't even math then. Because I could just tell you right now, it's only 200 light years. But it hasn't been 200 years. So yeah, that is, the math doesn't really add up, does it? It's only been 140 years.
Since radio waves started being set out.
Yeah, since 1880,
Yeah, so 1880 to 2025.
145 years.
So it's only been, but you're
It's
saying,
gone 200. Yeah, there was a study that I had looked up. It was the Adam Grossman from the Dark Sky company created a map, and it showed that it's created this small bubble around us that is about 200 light years across. So did we lose 55 years
but
somewhere?
no, but if it's 200, you're saying 200 light years across. Even that doesn't make sense, because it would have to be like across would be like Earth's in the middle, and then like that's the width of it, not from the Earth out. So even that wouldn't make sense.
Just dug a rabbit hole into this question here.
Yeah, we did.
I guess radio waves are
And we're-
somewhere between 100 to 200 light years out. So yeah, it's not too.
And it's like, how can we even test that? Like right now, we can only
Yeah,
speculate.
you can't erase it. You can't go out there and try and turn the TV on and see if it hits you.
Yeah, because we don't know how to travel faster than light speed. Supposedly, we can't.
No, you need the Flash or Superman for something like that,
Yeah.
or Goku,
Or hyperdrive. Or warp drive.
or just a regular person from Star Wars.
Yeah, or just regular person from Star Wars. So yeah, if we want to think of it in like that term before we dig too deep down this rabbit hole, like how many planets has those radio waves come across? And then we can pretty much from there see which ones are in the habitable zone, and then from that one, I don't even know what you call it or how you would, it's pretty much when, like we were talking about earlier, they would take the light from like that's being shined off the planet and then putting it through like a prism or something, and it can tell you like what elements are basically on it.
Uh-huh.
and see if it's has a similar profile to Earth, and then we can just
yeah,
deduce.
you come across the same problem of it being a million years away from us. So,
but we haven't even got there yet.
Space travel's crazy.
It is. It's fun to think about, though.
It's almost like we're not meant to go out there. It's like, they're just like, why bother? We just make it so freaking complicated. They won't even go.
Humans, we like to overcome challenges, so I feel like if we don't kill ourselves, we'll get out there eventually. Like, that's the best thing for our species, is to become interplanetary, so if something happens on one planet, we got the ones on the other to continue the species.
That's probably how we got here in the first place.
Yeah.
Some outpost that kind of got forgotten, and
Yep, the Emperor didn't.
maybe they just forgot about us. I know we were talking about, I think it was our second episode, we were talking about going to the shore of America and seeing who showed up first, right?
Right.
And you were saying that did we come across the land bridge or over the water? But honestly, like, all right, so if everything was one continent to begin with, the Pangea, there were dinosaurs everywhere, and so on any continent you go to, you can find dinosaur bones. There's also humans in almost every continent you go to. I think that humans are just so prevalent before the splitting of the continent and whatnot, that the Native Americans that were here, yes, they've literally been here for time immemorial, because that was their chunk of land as it started drifting away. You know, if California starts drifting away, not everybody's just gonna die. It's just gonna be an island at some point, until it touches Alaska.
But wouldn't we find bones fossilized that we can carbon date to that time period from humans?
I think it all takes like burial customs. You take a whole group of people that burn most of their bodies or bury their bodies in such a way, like the Native Americans have so much sacred land, like we can't dig around there and look for that stuff. It's disrespectful.
I don't know about that one. I like to follow, like...
It's just a weird thought.
I mean, it's an interesting thought. It's not the only one I've heard that's similar to that. But I like to think, like, the Anunnaki came here. Like, if there was aliens, like, maybe there was one back in the day that was coming here to mine.
So do you like the idea of ancient aliens better? Or they're among us, but they just choose to live with us? Like the Men in Black, kind of...
I feel like there has...
Like they were here a long time ago, but that's it. They were just gone.
I feel like there's too many assumptions. Like there were so many things that would have to go off flawlessly for that even to be a reality. But if it's like the ancient astronaut theory, that one show, Ancient Aliens.
Yeah.
I used to like it when I was younger, but then it's they sound so convincing, and maybe
every time they got a convincing scene where you're just like, ooh, maybe it's followed by 3 scenes that are just by the craziest people that you're just like, oh, yeah, look at this person with 1 tooth and 5 strands of hair pointing straight up, talking about a floating cigar in the sky. His eyes are bugging out.
Yeah.
It's like all that credible stuff that you just showed us just kind of went out the window with this one person or this one thing.
But if you, let's just say, like, that inspired me to do my own little digging when I was younger, and there is some truth to the stuff they're talking about. Like that one, I think it was somewhere in India at the time, they had this little gold idol, I guess it was, but it looked like a little like a little plane.
I know which one you're talking about, yeah.
And there's other instances of that around different civilizations and different time periods, so yeah. I think there's probably some truth to that. And if aliens do come here, maybe we're just...
A lot of those things are passed off as toys for kids that were birds, but they're so long ago because everything's just...
But they also made like 3D models of these things.
Yeah, and they look just like planes. They're aerodynamic.
And they do fly like planes.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of that stuff is very circumstantial, and it's not real evidence. But when you just lay it all out on a table, you're just like, come on, all these coincidences have to point to something now. But
if it's true,
if something comes down and shakes my hand, then yeah, I'm a believer. But who's gonna believe me? That's just the layer of it. It's like, oh, I got abducted in the where were you? Oh, I was in the middle of a field chasing a cow. And like, oh, well, now your story is weird and that's not credible. So,
well, if you've
you
ever
were probably on something.
if you ever had cows, there's sometimes like, yeah, you got to go out and check on them because they're making a ruckus in the middle of the night for no reason. So you got to go check them out.
I don't have cows, so it'd be really weird for me to be chasing cows down in the middle of the night. But
I've been around cows and I helped my friend, but they were good cows. But that is something they have to do.
Anytime every alien story I've ever seen, it's like it's usually followed by like a piece of evidence that almost makes everything like weird. It's like, oh, this is a good story, but the dude was drunk, or they were on another drug or something, and there's really no real good stories.
Yeah, it's
Like
just,
there's like
even if it was 100% true, it just doesn't sound credible because of circumstantial evidence.
yeah. I think any kind of evidence under a microscope in those stories really fall apart quickly. Like, even one of the best stories that I know about for like Betty and Barney Hills, like one of the first UFO abduction stories in the U.S. is from the 1960s.
Those names ring a bell. I couldn't tell you too much about them.
It was like most people will know about Roswell. A lot of people who follow alien stuff should know about these people. They're kind of like the first people that really mentioned like the gray aliens and stuff.
The Greys.
But like the more and more their story went, the more and more it evolved into like a weird mess. And at the beginning it was very nuts and bolts. This is an alien ship, this is an abduction, that's a probe.
But their story couldn't stand up over multiple questioning over a period of time.
Yeah, I think the best evidence they had, because there was a star chart on the wall and she was able to redraw it, and the star chart is Earth from a different perspective. So like you look out from our planet and you see the moon and maybe Mars off in the distance. From this chart it was like they're past Mars looking at a star chart and seeing Earth in the distance. It's just such an odd story. They went through like a lot of hypnotic regression to get some of this information back, and that in itself is very unreliable, because if you're gonna get hypnotized professionally, that person has a lot of control and they can lead you into an answer or a question or whatever to make,
because you're very suggestible.
Yeah, you can bend the story, and you're already coming in about aliens, and if they have a proclivity towards aliens, then they might want this to be true. You know,
it's the want.
You can really tear apart some of this stuff under a microscope, but I would like to hope. I don't know about hope, but I do think that there's a possibility that there's stuff out there. Is it like Men in Black? I don't know.
I don't think
they would have to have some insane cloaking tech that we couldn't even fathom for them to be walking around like normal people in the day to day.
Yeah,
like it would be better than what we see in the movies. It'd have to be, if they're just like the Men in Black level of aliens. Like we couldn't fathom.
Yeah, it's like every government, every agency would have to have some kind of like cohesion between them, so everybody just works together instead of like how the countries work nowadays.
There'd be too many whistleblowers.
That's my thing. my thought process.
Unless you're getting neuralized at that level. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, that's only if neuralizers are thinking. Seeing there's so many assumptions. That,
Everybody
so many
gets a
things
little
have to be-
zippity zap before they leave for the ship for the day.
Maybe like I would say there's stuff out there. Maybe they come around every so often just to check on like their experiments, because there was a certain
Like
jump,
coming over to check out your ant farm.
pretty much. Like there's a certain period in like human history in our evolutionary tree where we jumped ahead faster than we should have.
Yeah, it was right after the Roswell incident.
Yeah,
That's when we started
not the technological,
figuring out microprocessors and transistors and
not necessarily that.
there was
It's
something else that came out like right after that too. I mean,
spacesuits. That was another one.
nah, I think that one came from a different source, a more evil and vile source. Can't say those words here. Spacesuits were made by bad people for good reasons, I guess. I don't know. It's still bad too.
But let's just say, hopefully it's not like the Q, but it's like the Anunnaki. They came around, did some mining, well, technically we were a slave race,
Well,
but we were happy to help.
I think the only hope we got is if our planet is being treated like Sentinel Island. You know, like we could technically just roll through Sentinel Island, take every single inhabitant, and make them do whatever in our society, make them work or put them into a job or school or whatever. We have the power to take down every indigenous tribe if we truly wanted, but we let them do their own thing because that's the right thing to do. They live their lives, we leave them alone, and they can have their own beliefs and do what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
What if our whole planet is being treated like that? So every time the aliens come by, we do the same thing the Sentinelese do. They just pepper them with bows and arrows, and we're just like, aliens! Like when, what was it, Los Angeles? They just started shooting all those missiles straight up in the air. The Los Angeles UFO sighting, where they just started shooting thousands and thousands of bombs and missiles up in the air. Oh, I'm gonna show
I feel like, yeah, I missed that.
they made a movie about it.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
But yeah, like every time they come by, we just shoot what we got at them, and they're just like, F them. They're too stupid.
They're too primitive.
They're too primitive. We'll come back in a few thousand years, maybe they'll figure things out.
Like a Star Trek.
So yeah,
incident.
we'll leave the Sentinelese alone. But if the Sentinelese start building boats and they start coming out and saying hi to us, we're gonna let you do things. We're gonna say hi. We're gonna give you education. We're gonna show you whatever you want to know. You know, we'll be good to them. And what if that's just they're just waiting for us to do something like that? But until then, we're just sitting here with our rocks and sticks and bows and arrows, and we're just like, get off our lawn, you aliens.
I've had that thought. Because yeah, I mean we're
reserve.
Yeah, we're just some kind of reserve until we get to a certain technological level or cultural level or something to that degree. Like they're not there yet. They're only young whippersnappers.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty bad.
Well, actually, it would be kind of a good thing because they're at least morally good because they could just come take whatever they want. If they right now, it'd be easy.
Not unless they're just sitting here waiting for us to get to a certain point, so we would be the perfect soldier or
food.
Yeah,
That's
or
now that's a scary thought.
like we're just being like you're.
They're just aging the species because we're waiting till you to get to a certain genetic point, and that's when you're going to taste the best of us.
Yeah.
Get some human burgers.
Get the juicy bits. So hard to say.
That's how it happens.
We need to interview like some top tier colonel.
We wouldn't get a straight answer.
Yeah, we wouldn't. He'd just be winking at us, be like, "Sir, this is a podcast. You can't be giving us hand signs. I need a yes or no. No, don't nod your head." You'd be like, "Sorry, sir, I can't say that's classified," as he's shaking his head up and down. Like, no, I need words.
Nobody else can see you.
No one's gonna believe this. Why don't we record these videos? I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, what if
the aliens are so afraid to come to Earth because of all the illegal alien crap we have? And they
we don't want to get deported?
And they just see those
How would we
things.
deport them?
Yeah, they see them and they're just like, holy crap, they don't like us. They don't want anybody coming on any of their lands.
Like all the countries don't like it, illegal aliens. So you know what? We're just gonna keep our distance.
We're just gonna stay away.
That's the only reason we don't have like phasers and stuff like that, teleporters. It's just
Our choice of vocabulary.
Yep.
I'd be having a lightsaber right now.
That would be awesome.
That would be. I'd drop it though.
Yep, go to the middle of the earth, kill us all. Just like that one episode of Rick and Morty.
No, I think lightsabers turn off automatically when you drop them.
See, I wouldn't know that. Unlike you Star Wars nerd.
Star Wars is the superior universe.
No, it's not.
I tell you what.
Nope. I am Team Warhammer. Warhammer would stomp y'all, even if it was just humanity's faction.
One Jedi could take out the entire Warhammer universe.
I know he can't. We're going to start a fight in the comments section. Well, as soon as we get enough people.
One full potential Anakin Skywalker. Marvel.
That would be a good one.
It would, because Marvel did a thing with the new Vader comics. Well, it's not really new at this point, but Darth Vader meditates and he goes on to like basically the realm of the Force, and he has his full body back. He's got his whole potential, and he's greeted by every Jedi that has ever died, and he just Goomba stomps them without any effort. Takes out Yoda in a second, wipes out Mace Windu without trying, just takes down everybody in the council and basically every Jedi without effort. One full Anakin could take down all of Warhammer, I bet.
But see, there's people that are like him, just like in the Thousand
Yeah,
Suns.
just like one slug will
one runic marine. Like, well, not just any runic marine. It would have to be a named runic marine.
It'd be Dante. That's for another episode. But we all know Star Wars would win.
No, we all know Warhammer.
And then somebody would be like, "No, it's Star Trek." Shut up, nerd.
Yeah, you shut up, nerd.
Nah, hands down, one Superman, easy. That's it. Superman will take care of the warp too while he's there.
You know a lot more about DC than I do. I know a lot about Superman. Yeah, Superman Prime, or was it what's the golden one?
Superman 1,000,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely give a lot of people a run for their money, and it would definitely be tough. But
There's no kryptonite over there, though.
They will make that shit.
Well, yeah, I think they would just have to bring him towards a red sun or a black star or whatever. Start tweaking out.
Or find something that just saps the radiation from his DNA that makes him so strong. Or just go to that giant, what is it called? The giant map room in Warhammer and just start blinking out all the stars around him before he can recharge.
Right. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Alright, but we're getting off subject. Let's bring it on back. Well, I guess it was kind of on subject.
Yeah,
He's technically an alien.
Kryptonians and everything.
Yeah, what if there was a creature or like they don't have to look human, but it's just like they soak up radiation from certain stars. And on their planet, they didn't even know about this until they got here.
Call those people cancer victims.
Cancer victim.
Yeah, I don't know. I know the original story for Superman was nothing to do with the radiation. It was just that the gravity on his planet was so intense that when he came here, it was like everything was made of styrofoam.
was like the more
But
the
yeah,
average person learns about biology and physics, it seems like they have to.
You'd probably explode. Because right now we're under immense pressure, like air pressure, like a mountain of air is on top of us right now.
Yeah.
And we exist with that pressure naturally. So we're all technically walking around with a few thousand pounds on our shoulders.
I don't know if it's a few thousand pounds.
It's a good hunk of weight, I bet. But we're all used to it. We all exist on this world with this weight, this pressure on us. That's why it's a little different when you're up on a mountain. There's a lot less air pressure. That's why baseball players can slap a baseball a lot further away. There's not as much air all smashed on top of you.
We're going to get fact checked on that.
No, my point is, like, you take a person like us and we go to Pluto, wouldn't we just, like, boop out? Like, you bringing a blobfish from the bottom of the ocean and it just turning into a blob?
Just seen a video or a document. I don't know. It was a YouTube video, but it's a scientific one. I've seen a few of them like this. But yeah, if we go to a planet, let's just say if it had the oxygen that we needed to breathe without a spacesuit, the pressure, let's just say if it was 2 atmospheres of pressure, yeah, we would be almost like our whole eyesight would be different. It would be almost like we're looking through a fishbowl.
Yeah.
And I do think that, like, yeah, our blood vessels and everything would start rupturing because it just can't handle the pressure.
Yeah, space travel sounds super scary at that point. You need, like, every suit would be needing to be super special, pressurized.
Unless you were a being like Superman.
Exactly. So, if there are aliens coming to our planet, they would all have to have special suits unless they're what?
They would have to be bug types.
Somehow more intense than us. And yeah, the bug type, I've seen the stories of the praying mantis type aliens.
Well, it's not just...
And then the reptilians.
Well, just speculation because, like, they'll have exoskeletons, and even though there will be weak joints, that's actually one thing that is, if, like, as long as they can store... I mean, not store, actually, what am I doing? I went on a different tangent. But they'll be able to handle different, like, more extreme environments just because of their body. Because they can withstand the pressure, or the lack of pressure.
If they're like us, and they might be able to adapt, maybe there's some sort of special evolutionary traits. But I can't imagine every spacefaring race has this evolutionary trait to adapt to changes in gravity and air pressure.
They're like the Silent Hill monsters.
I don't know.
Yeah, they just have extreme exoskeletons, so they were able to withstand a meteor. Well, first, the planet got destroyed. They were able to last all the way through space in the vacuum on an asteroid, and then hits Earth, survives that, and then goes on a rampage on a completely different planet with different rules. So it would have to, on an evolutionary standpoint, if they were just mindless monsters being able to go to different planets, they would have to be either have an extreme exoskeleton, which that would fall under being some kind of insect type, or what we would classify as insect type.
That, or you'd have to constantly look for planets that are equal to or slightly lower, because if they were too low, then you'd probably have a tough time keeping your insides inside.
Well, that's the thing. They were on an asteroid
what are
with,
you
like,
talking about?
The Silent Hill monsters.
I don't know anything about that. You talk about asteroids and aliens like I know what you're talking about.
Well, let's just say a creature that could survive the extremeness of their planet, and let's just say they're not a spacefaring race, it's just happenstance. That's how maybe aliens
I think you had a better chance of, like, a virus or a bacteria getting transmuted that way rather than
technically an alien.
Herd of orcs on a rock.
Yeah, a herd of orcs on a rock. That's a possibility too. I mean, that's one of the things they think happened how mushrooms got here. It doesn't follow many it's not really in the animal kingdom, and it's not really in the plant kingdom. It's its own thing. So they're thinking spores from outer space rain down on primitive Earth.
Some planet like 1 million years ago that was just all mushrooms. That
No,
just
probably wasn't even 1 million. It was probably
It just got
trillions.
blown up, and this rock just randomly smacked us.
Yeah, and it just had a few spores on it, and that's all it took. And honestly, that would make more sense because a spore going through the atmosphere ain't going to burn up. It's too light. If it was attached to something, that's a different story.
I think if people are willing to accept that Earth, it was seeded over millions of years with asteroids and different bacterias and spores that eventually grew and evolved into life as we know it, then it'd be really silly to assume that that only happened one time here for us. That's very egotistical, you know. Like,
It can't it can't be just
out
us.
of the almost infinite number of planets in the sky and just trillions of stars, that couldn't have just happened just one time.
Who's to say they don't follow completely different biology?
Yeah, because if you're going to sit here and say if mushrooms might have came from an asteroid and other life may have came from a different asteroid, that means we would have been hit multiple times.
We've been hit by a lot of asteroids
A lot
over
of
the past.
asteroids, yeah, so we couldn't have been the only lucky rock to get hit by the right amount of probably asteroids that were just all ice for us to get oceans. Basically, it had to have happened.
Or who's to say they has to be water? Like on even within our own solar system, Titan has what is it?
Sulfur, rivers of sulfur or something.
No, not sulfur. It's methane. It's rivers and lakes of methane. And who's to say that the creatures there aren't like silicone based and that they've been able to adapt to breathe in methane or to breathe in methane?
Yeah, you said breathe in methane twice there.
I did say that
You did
twice.
it twice in a row.
They do it in the water and on land, folks. They breathe in the methane. So there has to be aliens
it'd
out
be
there,
funny,
but
man,
do they breathe?
If a race of people that breathe and live on methane, their garbage factories probably smell like flowers, when ours probably smell like methane.
Or like their
Shit.
farts actually smell
Yeah,
really good.
their farts smell like flowers or whatever.
So there would have to be, but it's just how often,
They couldn't exist here and we couldn't exist there.
unless they had special suits, or we had special
and we would be
suits.
seeing those people in special suits walking around. Maybe that's why furries are getting so popular. They just have special suits.
Oh my god. Yeah, there's like some kind of animal race that they seen or something, and now they're trying to imitate them.
Yeah.
It's like people dress up as like the other aliens, lizard people, the Greys. I do find that a little weird. I don't know why, but just the furry thing.
Oh yeah.
Like I seen at somewhere, I don't know why it even popped up on my YouTube feed, but it was like showing you Furry Con or something like that, like Comic Con, but it was all furries. I don't know if y'all can hear that, folks, but my lawn people are here.
The lawnmowers are going. Wasn't that in Texas?
What?
The Furry Con?
I think so.
I only know that because there's a streamer I was watching that kind of talks about that.
Oh Lord.
They don't go to it, obviously, but I know it exists.
Well, yeah, it's just like I'm watching these grown adults walk around. And I mean, I get like Comic Con, people like to dress up and everything,
Nah,
but
they're aliens.
maybe that's
maybe.
like there's all these different Comic Cons and people are like, oh, that's super weird. Well, that's because nobody wants to look into it too far. That's actually aliens walking around.
Yep.
They're just using the furry suits as a disguise. But they really are like animalistic humanoids, like from Dungeons and Dragons.
Furbogs.
You know there would be people lining up for that.
Oh my god.
Like, I want a cat girl.
Yeah, I think it'd be if there were aliens and they were essentially humans.
Like humanoid.
Not even just humanoid. Like if you take their DNA and you take one of our DNAs, we could find a common living ancestor potentially. Like that's how close I'm saying. Like they are 100% humans.
Like we all come from the same ancestor.
Yeah.
But they're just...
No, it's just this is just the way life evolves. Eventually, the peak form of evolution is human.
I don't. Now that's very egotistical.
That'd be kind of cool. We're number one.
Or like a humanoid figure is like the most adaptable.
We might think this, but then like trillion light years from now, there's a podcast going on with two squid boys.
Like, we are the superior race. Those stupid bipedals think they got it going on.
Do you think tentacles is the peak of evolution?
Yes, because we can fit into all the tiny holes. We have no bones. That'd be kind of crazy to come across like a squid-like alien, but they are space traveling, but they have their suits on.
Kind of like the aliens from Independence Day.
Sort of. I was thinking like those one aliens from...
They had like tentacles all over the place, but yeah, they're kind of xenomorph looking.
Yeah, somewhere between like bugs, xenomorph, squid-like doodads. Don't want something like that to happen. Then Will Smith's got to save us.
Yeah, only Will Smith can do it.
He's gonna go up there and just slap the alien. Keep my wife out of your goddamn mouth.
I was gonna say, keep my planet off your mind.
But he's got to team up with Chris Rock. Hopefully they're morally good. That's all we can hope for. They don't want to experiment on us. They don't want to sell us into slavery, and they definitely don't want to eat us.
Well, hopefully they're not coming here preaching their religion.
That would
turn a lot of people off towards aliens. I tell you that.
Or it would make people jump back on the religious train.
Especially if it was comparable to one of our religions on Earth, but it's like one of the ones that nobody likes.
The spaghetti monster.
The spaghetti god.
The giant rigatoni in the sky.
We're 20 million years more advanced than you because we worship the plate of spaghetti in the sky.
It's the true God.
It's the true God. Spaghetti god. 3 meatballs, only 3.
No more, no less.
Yeah, I guess all I can do is sit here and hope that we're the first. That there are no aliens.
But even that, I think it'd be egotistical to think that we are the first.
That we're the first things to stand up and say, I am me.
But I really think...
I mean, if you...
We probably are definitely not the first.
You follow any religion, that's basically it. So, I mean... There is that.
What, that just beings come from the sky from every religion is what you're saying?
No, that there are no beings in the sky other than the Almighties.
Well, I think I don't know.
So if you take any kind of religion into it, it's like, yeah, we might be the first people to exist. And the Great Barrier is somewhere behind us. It's sentience or something. Or evolving from bacteria. Because we haven't seen anything else other than bacteria.
And even them speculating on how bacteria even came to be, or like single-celled organisms, they were thinking it's just like the early stages of Earth, the toxic sludge, and then some of them are saying it was like volcanic.
It was like the right mixture of chemicals in the water, basically.
And then getting hit by lightning repeatedly.
Like
Frankenstein. Or who's to say... They didn't want the early Earth to be that chemical mixture, and then instead of like lightning zapping it, they actually zapped us with a very specific ray to make everything start happening.
Who the heck are they?
Q.
Where did they come from? Who created them? Yeah, see? Ah!
I feel like as soon as aliens do, if they ever do get revealed and pop up on Earth, that would put a lot of religions in question, I think.
If they didn't look like us, if they looked 100% human, then most religions would probably be like, all right. But if they were all squid monsters or bug people or looked like the Mars Attacks people or whatever, they don't look anything like us, then I think we're going to have some problems here.
Like, what percentage of the population do you think would be like, heresy, go kill him?
Probably a good chunk.
I would think so too. Because instead of accepting there is a possibility of other life being out there, they would rather destroy that than say they're wrong.
It'd be demons, though.
They could say they're demons from hell.
They're clowns from space.
Oh, good golly. Could you imagine if, like, the killer clowns from outer space came down?
Spacefaring.
Turned everybody into popcorn kernels. Or was it popcorn? I can't remember. It's a funny premise, though. But yeah, if just a giant carnival-colored flying saucer came down right...
People would say it's AI.
Yeah, they would say it's AI. Even as, like, people are being turned to kernels.
Yep.
They're like, oh, it's all fake. It's all fake. And even if it's happening right in front of their face, oh, it's fake. This is all just a skit. That's actually a scary thought. AI is making us question so much that we don't know what's real. And that's all the aliens plan.
Alien intelligence, I'm telling you.
Or like that's the evolutionary pinnacle is like some kind of super advanced hyper AI going through like the Borg.
Yeah, so the only thing out there is just AIs left over from civilizations that's crumbled
because they killed themselves.
And it's, yeah, so all that's out there is a bunch of supercomputers basically.
I've thought about that. And if they get past that, they turn to the Warhammer universe.
That's why they don't like AI in the Warhammer universe.
Yeah, because AI took over because they depended on it so much. Whenever they needed to defend themselves, it's like, well, how do we do that? AI used to do that. A little E.T. comes out. E.T. want to go home.
Yeah, like they look like the aliens from E.T. I feel comfortable with that. I know I can punch those guys around.
But as soon as they touch you, instead of healing you, just instant death.
No, thank you.
Just zaps your life force out of you.
Throw Drew Barrymore at him. So if you turned on the news tonight, whatever news outlet you like watching, and the news media outlet says, here it is, slap it down on the table, fact, aliens are real, we have all these files that you can look up and a couple pictures, but that's all they give you. Would you be a believer, or would you need a lot more freaking proof?
I feel like in this day and age, everybody's gonna question it, doubt it. Even if it's like a video, just because of the AI stuff nowadays. If this was, let's say, 20 years ago, people would be a little bit more trusting.
Yeah, I think people would probably...
But we just live in such a distrusting society nowadays. It'd still be... A lot of people would believe it, but I feel like the majority of the population is like, what does it even have to do with me?
You know, to be honest, what I think would happen if they released something on the news with the president's seal, and I don't think it matters and which president, so it doesn't even have to be Trump.
It'd be Obama.
It could be whoever. You know how they have those presidential conference meetings, so they have like one representative and then like a 20 plus reporters in a room asking questions. I think every single press conference for like a month after that announcement, someone would ask just to verify, you guys did say aliens, right? Like, yep, here's the file.
Here's a picture of what they look like.
This is a couple pictures. It happened. Roswell was whatever. Old news. This presidency's about transparency.
There would still be a portion that wouldn't.
I think if they kept at it on the news,
They would have to be like talks or something. Like one
they
would
couldn't announce that on April 1st.
No.
Nobody would believe it.
No, didn't they even do a joke like that one time? Like a bunch of videos were going to be released on April 1st, and everybody believed it until the day of, and they say April Fools.
Probably. I would not.
It was a funny. It was
surprised.
funny. I just can't remember what department did that.
They did a reading of War of the Worlds on the radio when the book came out. And they said at the start that this is a reading from a book. But you know how long an audio book could be. It could be like 5 to 10 plus hours. Some of the really good ones are over a day long. So anybody who tuned into the radio midway through it, yeah. So the police stations in the local area were getting calls. People were panicking and freaking out because they thought aliens were attacking.
I remember
and
that. I
the
remember
radio
hearing about
station
that.
had to do a apology for it. So I think people would.
When was that too?
A long time. It was probably before I was born.
Yeah, but that would be. Yeah, I mean, even nowadays, if it was like some remote region that didn't really have a bunch of cameras, but we started getting like calls, like a bunch of calls coming out of there saying aliens, there's always going to be a portion that's going to believe it.
Yeah. Well,
And there's going to be people that are going to say it's fake.
I don't think anybody was questioning it. That Orson Welles comic, or the Orson Welles book, the radio drama was in the 1930s.
I was in the 30s.
Yeah, it was 1938. So it was on October 30th too. So that's a bad time. At 8:00 Eastern Time, October 30th, 1938, over the CBS radio network. And it incited a panic, convincing some members of the listening audience that aliens were actually attacking.
Good lord.
There was probably 100,000 people listening to that thing. And the book's only an hour long, I can see here. Or the radio broadcast was only an hour long. I wonder if it's because they're getting calls.
I know that book's longer than that.
I read
I've
the
that
book. Yeah, I don't think it was an hour audio book. I feel like it was probably 3 or 4.
I thought it was longer than that. I know it wasn't a big book.
No, I'd have to look at it now. I'm not 100% sure.
It's been a few years since I've listened to it.
I'd be 100% shocked if it was exactly 60 minutes.
No, I think I listened to it in a whole work shift. So, and I'm not listening to it 24/7 because I got to talk and do other shit.
Like a 6-hour book, then.
Yeah, I think it's about a 6-hour book or somewhere around that.
And my biggest takeaway from that book is the book is nothing like the movie.
No, the movie. I still really enjoy the movie.
There are way too many extra characters in the movie.
Yes, there is.
I think the book was just about some dude.
Yeah, there was no family with him.
He's trying to get to the family.
And that whole scene in the basement.
That was the only thing kind of similar.
No, it was.
Alien thing, basement, a dude who lived in the house.
Going crazy.
That's the closest the movie gets to the book.
I wonder how many people, let's just say in the Amazon or in like South America, that just start getting the internet. I wonder if the stories that they see on there, like some of them that they're like, it's 100% real. There's
it's probably a
superheroes in New York City fighting aliens.
Yeah, like you go in and you show them a Marvel movie.
Mm-hmm. And they think it's a documentary.
Yeah, I bet you could convince a lot of people of that.
Now, a lot of those communities, as soon as they get internet, they start immediately
looking at grown-up stuff.
Yeah, looking at grown-up stuff and getting hooked on it.
Yeah, I guess I'd just be looking up a lot of how-tos. If I was go back to our second episode, you get teleported randomly in the middle of the Amazon jungle, but you got a phone that works, but you can't call anybody, but you could watch YouTube. Then I'd be like, all right,
only YouTube.
Only YouTube.
Not any of the other tubes.
Yeah, you can't message for help or anything with it, I'm saying. But, like, I'd be looking up, like, how-tos and stuff.
That'd be what
Or
I'm
how
doing.
to survive out here in the desert.
Oh God! I was watching some documentaries about the desert too, or certain deserts, like the Little Sahara, or there was another one that the guy's shoes was just melting. Like they popped a tire and they had to get out, and I think they were only out for like 20 minutes and standing on the sand, 140 degrees.
Yeah.
The guy's sneakers just started to melt.
Oh, see, I would not have fun out there then.
Just makes you think how soldiers had battle over there in the Sahara Desert. Because it was like one of them was definitely over in that area, 120 degree, 140 degree temperatures. And these guys are wearing plate metal, like Jerusalem times. Or like the Crusade Jerusalem times.
They had their faith to keep them cold, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully the aliens are just following them around with some AC.
That's exactly how they did it. They had a giant portable AC unit.
Yeah, or they all had those neck fans.
You heard it here first, folks. That's how the Crusaders did it. Each one of them had a neck fan.
And an alien buddy.
Called Zorp.
Zorp.
No, I guess all we can hope for is that they're benevolent, they're nice, they're willing to share technology, and they don't enslave us or think we're food.
Yeah, I think that's the best you can hope for. I don't want to be food. I don't want to live my whole life just to find out that I'm delicious and nutritious to some alien race. And that's what they've been waiting for. Oh, thank you. Or be like,
Worker race.
what was that movie? The book? Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Everything's just so big out there, just blow up planets to make roads.
Yeah, I'm not
Like,
even
a
worried.
new interdimensional highway is coming. Take out that planet.
Oh, we petitioned y'all a long time ago, and nobody said nothing.
Nobody said anything.
Because we thought it was a joke.
Some spaceship lands and a guy in a business suit gets out. A briefcase out here to make a deal. The guy looks exactly like Trump. Oh, that'd be horrible.
Oh, that would be horrible.
Everybody would assume Trump's an alien then.
I swear to God, I've never seen him in my life.
Thought that was the worst Trump impression ever.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Oh man, you could possibly get deported for that kind of impression.
Citizen stripped.
Oh man. If you got abducted, what would be the first question you could ask? Like if you got one question, that's it. But you're getting this probe. What would the question be?
It would have to be a good question.
I know, part of me wants to be like, why? But I feel like everybody would be asking that.
I'd be more curious, like, where do y'all come from, or like how old your species? I think that's what.
What useful would that information be?
Well,
Our
any
species-
question you ask, you get in the probe, so it might as well be a useful one. Something you can come back and tell everybody that nobody's gonna believe.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
After you just
Be
got a thorough
man, you're
probing.
gonna answer all my questions. What's the winning lotto numbers?
How are they gonna know that? They were like, I don't know. Some people be like, can I have your ship?
Right.
What would you do with an alien ship?
Fly it around.
Like, where would be...
Honestly, I probably wouldn't fly it around. I'd probably crash that sumbitch into the moon.
What if it was like they had a device like the Matrix, they'll put a helmet on and they're like...
Or it just goes.
Well, not like goes, like you... It's very simple controls, but they'll have like something you put on your head, just download the information to you.
It's a lot of hopefulness there.
I know. That's why I'm setting this
Well, let's
crazy
say,
scenario. Let's just say they
What would
give
I
you the
do with
ability to drive
What
it.
would I do with this alien spaceship that I can drive reasonably?
Where would you go first?
I'd fly out into the middle of the Pacific Ocean where it's the calmest and just hover above the water and look out at the nothingness. I like stuff like that.
That would be cool.
And be in the middle of nothing.
I drop a fishing pole.
I get you and your fishing poles. I wouldn't even need a fishing pole to be happy. I'd just be happy just sitting out there looking out
I'd be happy too until I got a bite. I'd be even more happy.
Get yanked in. Now you can't reach the ship. Go see some penguins. No, I'm kidding. No, I'd probably like, I don't know. Flat. Yeah, I'd probably first I would see if the Earth is in fact flat or round. I'd get that out of the way first and foremost. Is there an ice wall, or is it
and just go get like some of the most prominent flat earthers that are on YouTube or on podcasts and
show up to their house in the spaceship and be like, I'm about to blow your mind, buddy.
Let's go.
Oh, that would probably be it.
I would definitely want to check out a lot of stuff on Earth, especially with a flying spaceship. That'd be just cool, fun.
Did you leave the planet?
Absolutely.
I'd at least go to the moon, but you can't really get out. We talked about that air pressure business a while back.
Well, I mean, you just have to go there and look out the window. Like, I would want to go visit all the planets and
I'd check out
Jupiter's and Titan or Saturn's moons.
Well, the thing is, stealing a spaceship or finding a spaceship that I can all of a sudden drive wouldn't assume that spaceship would survive the massive atmospheres or the intense atmospheres of Venus and Mercury or the massive weight of Jupiter or Saturn.
I'd just go kill myself and automatically. I want to go here, then just get sucked into the planet.
I think bare minimum, I'd see the moon. Yeah. What's on the dark side of it? Is there anything worth mentioning? No, nothing. All right, let's go. And then probably check out Mars. And then I think that's the extent.
Safer planets. That's what you would be going for.
Well, I wouldn't go any further than
celestial
that.
bodies.
I wouldn't know where to go to be like, let's check out this Alpha Centauri that's supposed to be inhabited close to us. I wouldn't know where to go.
You have to have an alien co-pilot.
But you can at least physically see Mars from us.
That is true.
So I wouldn't want to get lost. And then you get to Mars and you're like, crap, I don't know what Earth looks like from here.
I think it would be pretty.
Just a blue dot, hopefully.
It'd be, or just like, it would look like Venus, or somewhat similar to Venus, just a bright.
Accidentally go to Venus. You're just like, why does this look different?
It's like, did something happen before I left?
Oh God, they nuked it.
Everybody's
They
gone.
destroyed everything.
It's the fallout, baby. And we gotta crawl out in the fallout.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't go too far, to be honest. I'd be too worried.
That'd be the smart thing to do.
Go out and crash to an asteroid the second I get out of the atmosphere. Go all the way out to Pluto, but yeah, get lost.
Get captured by space pirates.
Oh, golly.
Gonna turn to the new Star-Lord. Gandhi's gonna raise you.
It's Mary Poppins, y'all. Yeah, that'd probably be scary. You find yourself a spaceship and you get out into space, and then, oh my gosh, there's a bunch of spaceships out here, and now one's following me.
What do I do?
They all look the same.
Now they look like the Dark Eldari ships from Warhammer.
Oh no.
Let's hope you can get away. But then you lead them back to Earth. They didn't even know this planet was here until you.
Oh, somehow I got that ship though.
I think that's all I got.
Yeah, I'd say if any aliens are listening in, give us a like.
And a subscribe.
A follow, whatever. And all others, anybody else, give us a like, a follow, sub.
Thank you for your time. We sure appreciate it. Share it with your friends. Trying to build a following.